Hello and welcome to Paint It Haint. I'm your host, Adri Hayes, and today we are going to talk about Old Man Winter and Jack Frost. And it's very fitting because we are coming up on the winter solstice. So I thought, even though it was 73 degrees today here in Atlanta, which is crazy because it wasn't supposed to go that high, but then it's going to be like freezing cold tomorrow. So I don't know what's going on, but it's still winter, and we are still going to talk about Old Man Winter and who I thought was his son, Jack Frost. So let's get into it. So, Old Man Winter is a blend of many deities and spirits. So, in Greek culture, he is known as Boreas, the Greek god of the north wind. He was depicted as a winged old man, and his responsibility in Greek culture was to bring in winter storms. While in Rome, he was referred to as Aquilo, or I think that's Aquilo, where he had the same responsibilities. So he goes way back. Of course he's in Norse mythology. So in Norse mythology, he was called Kari, who was personified, who was basically the North Wind personified. So he like is the North Wind, as well as breezes, gales, and fierce storms. So he's the wind and like all, I guess you could say all types or all forms of wind. In Germanic folklore, Old Man Winter is gendered as a woman, hence the look. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Ladies. Anyways, so he's gendered as a woman called Frau Holla, aka Frau Perkta. And I'm actually going to do a TikTok on Frau Perkta for y'all. So stay tuned on that. So both of which were winter goddesses who govern snow and seasonal change. Now, what's interesting about Frau Perkta specifically is she is portrayed as being both beautiful and sometimes haggard, depending on her moods. So she represents basically the duality of winter, and Frau Perkta is definitely alive and well here in Atlanta. Like I said, 70 degrees, and then like it's gonna be in the 40s tomorrow, and it was like in the 40s last week. Also, Frau Perkta came early. We don't. I'm gonna stop whining about the weather but anyways, back to Old Man Winter, or in this case, Frau Perkta and Frau Holla. So she represents the duality of winter and how it can be nice, a nice mild winter, or a horrific, cold, 12-foot high snow, god awful ice everywhere winter. So in Celtic traditions, winter becomes once again a goddess by the name of Cailleach. I think that's how you pronounce that. I think it's Cailleach. She rules over storms, cold, and the barrenness of the land. So her task is to bring winter each year, and then she kind of gives like Fox the Phoenix energy from Harry Potter, or I would say sort of baby New Year energy, because she's winter and then she ages into spring. So it's weird to me. Like we always say, like the winter of someone's life, it reminds me of like it's like aging backwards. So she's older and then she like Benjamin Buttons in the spring, pretty much, and that represents and explains the change in seasons. So another character associated with winter is that of Jack Frost. So initially, I said this in the beginning, I saw Jack Frost. I thought he was the child of Old Man Winter or the grandchild, but no, he's his own entity. So he has Anglo-Saxon and Scandinavian roots, much like Old Man Winter. The legend of Jack Frost draws from Jökull Frosti, or Icicle Frost, and he was a frost giant in Icelandic tradition. But here's the interesting part. So we know, like the Norse, they go hard, with their mythologies and stuff. The Norse people. So of course, Jökull Frosti is not the nice little playful young man that we see today in pop culture as in respects to Jack Frost. Um, so yeah, he does not play around, and he's actually described as a somber character who should be feared and respected, which I can get behind because winter in certain regions, especially like way up north, I think should be feared and respected. You know, because it can mess you up like real bad. But he's basically personifying the harsh and sometimes of gloomy winter, excuse me, of the north. Now, the Scandinavian origins also bring in the Alfar, which we mentioned in our first Christmas episode, which are the elves. And these are, in this case of the Alfar, these are winter elves. So these elves are younger also. So they're not like the older, wiser ones. They're very playful. And they create frost patterns on surfaces for fun. So it's like a little art project for them, which I think is really cute. And when I have kids, I'm probably going to incorporate that into like into the whole Christmas thing. Cause I feel like, yeah, that's going to be cute to do. It kind of reminds me of, you know what? That might have been where my kindergarten and first grade teachers got that idea of, you remember where you would like fold the white paper and create snowflakes. I think some of them were like, kind of celebrating the idea of the Jack Frost, or in this case, the yokel, not yokel frosty, excuse me, the Alfar, the winter Alfar. So, wow, I see what you did there. So, continuing with Jack Frost, though, there's another element to the Jack Frost that we know. So, not yokel frosty, but the Jack Frost of like today's culture. So this comes actually from the early English tales of Jack Frost. So from Yokel Frosty to Jack Frost. So these spirits were said to bite fingers, nose, and toes. Like think about biting cold, or the quote from the Christmas song, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. That's where that comes from. It comes from the early English and their tales. The name Jack was given due to that name being a common name for tricksters, nature spirits, and mischievous spirits. So Jack Frost is typically shown as a young, spry, even childlike or elven figure with mischievous tendencies. I would say he's kind of artistic too, as he represents the delicate beauty of winter. Think about the intricate designs of like frost and like okay, if you're a weirdo like me, have you ever got up to go somewhere early in the morning when it's cold outside, especially during the winter, and you look at like the frost on your window, and it's like I sound like such a hippie. It's so beautiful. Like it's like intricate. Like if you look at it real close, it's really intricate, right? So that's what he does. That's what Jack Frost is said to do. Um he also appears to paint, or it's said that the frost appears as if it's painted onto surfaces. So again, that's Jack Frost. Yeah, all of that, the frost and everything, forget science. No, it's Jack Frost. Actually, no, don't forget science. We kind of need that right now. But back to Jack Frost. So there you have it. Those are the origins of Old Man Winter and Jack Frost. Let's go back a little bit. So you have, starting with the Norse and people in Scandinavia. They have their version of Jack Frost. Yokel Frosty. The Germanics have Frau Halla and Frau Perkta. The Anglo-Saxons go on to have Jack Frost essentially. And then it trickles down into English culture and then down to American culture, where we now have this playful spirit who creates intricate designs out of snow and ice and is beloved, I would say, everywhere, except for like maybe the part where the black ice because I have slipped and fell. I'm clumsy already, but I have slipped and fell on so much ice that it's criminal how much ice I have fallen on over the years. Okay, this is related to Jack Frost. So, because it's ice. So, when I was a child, me, my mom, my aunt, and my cousin, we went to see and take pictures with Santa Claus, right? So, we're dressed up in our Christmas dresses. I think that picture is actually out in the living room, but we are dressed to the nines. We're ready to go to I got my list, my cousin got her list. We're ready to go, right? So we get out the car and it was a real cold day in December. It's December 1996, I think. So me and my cousin, we just book it toward the door because we're like, we got business to attend to with the big guy. I'm like, I gotta get this Barbie dream house. You gotta get. I think she wanted a Barbie dream house as well. No, she wanted the beach house. I think it was the beach house. Listen, we're gonna do this. There is much to attend to, right? Much to discuss. So we're booking it towards the door, and I remember because I was holding her hand because cars, and I'm the oldest. As I am getting across this part of the parking lot, I'm like right there. You can see the door. I feel my feet go from underneath me. It's like my right foot goes first, then my left foot goes, right? And then she's falling with me too, and we start freaking out. We are screaming our heads off because I think it was more so from the shock than more than anything, more than being hurt. I remember getting bruised, but that was ice. Thank you, Jack Frost. Thank you for slowing my behind down because I don't even think the mall wasn't even open yet. Shout out to Phipps Plaza. So, anyways, that is the end of the video. So, this is actually the last video of the year of 2025. So, I will see you all in 2026. And I want to say thank you to my subscribers, both new and old. I am going to have some videos on, or some TikTok videos that you can check out regarding more Christmasness. So I will see you all on there, and Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. And I love you all. Bye.